Hello everyone, I'm Redtastic, and today, on the 4th day of Halloween, I am going to attempt to make a new eyeglass case in the same style as this awesome Tiffany one that came with these glasses, so that these glasses, which aren't Tiffany's and didn't come with a really awesome case, but are still cool, can have a place to live and not get squished, because while this is a nice bag, it's not a nice hard case. And I thought about this today when I got up because I had so much fun working with the vinyl I had yesterday that I'm going to use this sheet of Nightmare Before Christmas inspired vinyl that I got from Miss SoCal Vinyl on Etsy, or you could check her out at www.misssocal.com. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to sort of have to measure this very scientifically. Actually, look at how this works. Okay, so you've got one continuous piece of turquoise leather on this, Robin's Egg blue leather, and you've got inside, it's got some fabric, but it also has like a cardboard little inset that keeps it from collapsing in on itself, gives it a little bit of strength. And it also has a magnet on here and here, which is nice, but I don't like, because maybe it's a wives' tale, I don't know, but I don't want to demagnetize any of my cards. I don't know how this shit works. I'm not a magician, so I try to keep magnets away from any of my cards in my purse. So I'm going to start off by taking the vinyl and sort of wrapping it around this. And it's awesome because when you start with it open and you wrap the vinyl, it's upside down on the back, but on the front, bam, it's right side up again. So it's perfect. It'll actually work for what I want. I can see that on the sides, I'm going to have to add a little bit of vinyl to each side, because this little triangle type shape where it sews together, the vinyl is just not wide enough for that. I'm not going to let that stop me, because I have a sewing machine and scissors and I can make this happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very scientifically make a template. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to start on this section. I'm going to add about 1/4 of an inch all the way around to allow for sewing, because I'm going to sew this together. So, and that also keep me from using my awesome Sharpie and marring up my case that I will use. I just won't put it in my purse. So on both sides, I'm just going to follow this down like this, and like I said, it's very scientific. And then I'm going to roll it, and as I roll, I'm going to just keep following the guide. Then I'm going to go up this side, and then I'm getting to the top where it has like a slight angle in, give it a nice tailored look. And then I'm just sort of gonna guesstimate the 1/4 of an inch. You could actually use a ruler for this. I don't, because it's a craft. It's like magic to me, and it's more exciting to just wing it. So I'm going to put this down again just to make sure that I know where approximately the bottom of the case is, the front bottom of the case is, so I know where I need to add extra, so I can cut out the little triangles on the sides after I sew some fabric on it, some extra vinyl from the top, because I'm going to have a little bit extra at the top, which seems to be just the right width to go across there, which is awesome and magic, like crafting. So I'm going to take this and cut it out. And you can see my awesome pattern. I'm just going to go on the outside of the black line. All the way around. There's that. So this should, with just a little bit of overlapping, pretty much cover and mirror the shape of the eyeglass case, and it does. So I'm going to see about adding the little bit I need on the sides. And I was right, it's just about the right size. And the way I'm going to figure out how to make that triangle shape is just fold it over like that. And it's about that there. See if it's facing the right way. Nope, it's not facing the right way. This is the right way. Don't want my vinyls to not match. That would be bad. Okay. So now I have one side, and since it is the same on both sides, I can use this as a template to cut out the one for this side. Okay, so I have a little bit of the vinyl left over. Now I'm going to see about sewing the vinyl pieces to the edge, so that when it folds over like that, we'll have a nice little triangle. And then on this you can see where at the edge of that triangle, that's how they sew the edge. So that should be fine. Gonna line this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. One. Now I'm going to put the other one right sides together like that. Just do another little sewing. So now we have what looks to be just about perfect for making the whole shape. Got the little sides. flap. Pretty awesome. Now I'm gonna take a complementary fabric and see about making a liner piece for this. And I have a couple of fabrics I can use. I haven't decided which one, but I pulled 3. I'm just gonna lay it out and decide which one I like best with the front. And I'm really leaning towards this one because it's like these cool candy cane stripes, and it's kind of Nightmare Before Christmassy. But I also like this gray one because it's little skulls. And then there's this like iconic swirl Burton-esque thing, but I think because of the way this is like pink striped and stuff, I'm gonna go with the pink stripes. So look at this over there. Now before I do that, I think I wanna sew the vinyl flat to the outside seam here so that it isn't like wonky. I'm just gonna throw down another stitch. That doesn't sound right. My bobbin thread is like spaghetti on this stitch, so I'm gonna have to check to see what's going on with that, which is pretty easy on the Juki. Don't have to lift the machine or anything, but it might be that it's just almost done. But you can't have that ugly looking stitching there. Well, I don't want ugly stitching. I'm just going to hit this again, and hopefully it won't be all ugly. Nope, not ugly. So that was the problem. So now I'm going to take my outside vinyl, which is going to be the outside of my eyeglass case. I'm going to cut the lining out of this fabric, putting right sides together. I'm just going to sort of, which I'm going to do it on the other side because I'll just draw on it and then I don't have to worry about pinning it. That's smart. Yes, it is. I are smart. So there I'm just lining up the stripes with the edge of the vinyl here. Now I can cut that out. So there. Now this won't have very many things I can snip and rip, but I can snip and rip that to get rid of the bulk of that fabric because I am lazy and I like to make as little cutting work for myself as possible. And since it's, you know, the same on both sides, it shouldn't matter how I trace this. And we'll hope that it didn't, because I'm cutting it now. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Life throws stuff at you, and you just step up and you knock that crap out. While I'm doing this, I'm going to place some Velcro on the liner piece and on outer edge of the vinyl so that I can use Velcro to keep it closed as opposed to magnets. And my long strip of sew-in Velcro felt, so I just pick it up. All right, so here we have the case and the little flaps. And here we have the liner. So I can sew the Velcro through both on this part, the inside one, but on the outside one, I don't want to have big square there of where I put my Velcro. So I'm gonna see about lining it up. With approximately where it would be. And on the exterior flap, the flap that goes down, I'm going to use the smushy part of the Velcro, not the hard part of the Velcro. The hard part can go on the bottom. So I'm just going to approximately measure how much I want. That looks about right. Again, very highly scientific. Take the smushy part of the Velcro and I'm going to sew it on the inner flap of the liner. Now that that's done, let's see about sewing them together. It's like my bobbin ran out. I have to put a new one in. Yeah, it's really easy with this juking machine. It's almost like they make these to work. This piece set aside for after I finish sewing this together. And I think for this, I'm going to see about turning it here. Now, this might be hard because I remember I'm debating it. Maybe I should turn it along one of the long sides, because I'm going to have to sew the edge. Let me think about this for a second. Alright, so when I have it open, I think I'm going to keep it open from here to here for turning. And that will work. So and just start sewing around this. Up. Looks pretty good. Probably should clip it. Yes, I'm going to clip it. That way it's not going to migrate while I'm sewing it. Here is about where I'll keep it open. All right, here it goes. Do a stay stitch. Now I'm going to do the little right angle here. Always keep your needle in when you're doing your turning and moving so you don't migrate. And there's the space I'm leaving open to turn, and hopefully this will be a little bit easier to turn than the coin purse was yesterday. I'm hoping. And to help with that, I'm going to see about trimming this well. I have some pinking shears that will make turning it easier on the straightaways. When you get to the corners, you're going to nip those in a little bit. Not cutting through the stitching, but just enough to go really close to the stitching, so that'll help you turn it. Theoretically, at this point, because the vinyl, like I said, is a bit rough for turning. Then I'm not going to do the pinking in the spot that I have for turning because I want to be able to fold that under and have a nice edge to sew the seam so it doesn't look all wonky. So I think I got it cut pretty well. Let's see about turning this thing. I'm not going to stress out about it. I know that turning it is a bit of work, but I also know that from the coin purse that the vinyl is rather sturdy and not as delicate as in my head I thought it would be. So it can handle being pulled and pushed and prodded. So let's see what's coming out here. It's taking its time. So I'm just gonna allow it not to come out easily as opposed to like frantically panicking. And this is supposed to be a relaxing, fun craft. Bearing in mind that I'm gonna have an awesome eyeglass case for my other pair of up-close reading glasses and crafting glasses. Now I have, take the scissors and they have blunt. Never use pointy to turn the corners. They have tools for turning the corners. They do. They're available. I don't have one. For like my masks and stuff, I use this really cool like chopstick that I got. A set of chopsticks. I use one. Don't have to use two to turn things inside out. But it's enameled and pretty green and makes me happy. So that's what I use instead of using fancy turning tool. They're called bone tools or something. People use them in quilling, which is some paper craft where you're making big coils of stuff and tight coils, and it looks really cool, but something I've never done and probably never will do because my brain already has all kinds of crafts in it. I don't need to muck it up with everything. This is almost all the way done. Just trying to get the corners all nice. And then I'm going to sew all the way around to give myself a nice flat edge. All the way around. Exterior of my eyeglass case. This is where it needs to be tucked in a little bit. That's why I didn't cut that jagged with the zigzags of the pinking shears, so that I could get a nice straight edge there. Corners look good. Now I'm gonna sew all the way around with the machine in the hopes of getting this nice and flush and flat so we can get on to the next spot of making this. Where is my... said nice things about you, vinyl sheeting. And coming to one of the corners that I added a little bit of the vinyl to, so that we have that nice little triangle shape on the sides of the eyeglass case. So I'm trying to be sure to make sure that it's all even. The vinyl and the lining fabric are right up against each other, not overlapping one to the other. Because while this is just for me, I still try to make everything I do like I have to impress my mother with it. She's dead, but I still think that way. Not that my mother was ever like completely disappointed with something I said or did, but I wanted everything I made to be like worthy of putting on the refrigerator. Like, so when people came over and came into the kitchen, they'd say, "Oh, look what Teresa did on the, it's on the refrigerator. She did an excellent job." So everything I do when I'm making stuff, I keep that in mind. And I think she'd be proud of me right now, because this is looking pretty cool. I'm not gonna have magnets in it like the Tiffany one, so we can't hang it on the refrigerator, but it'll hold our eyeglasses. Okay, so we have the Velcro here across the top. The sides get sewn approximately like that, and then it'll flip over, and I need to sew the Velcro here to kind of correspond with where that's going to go. But also inside the eyeglass case, to keep it pretty rigid, there's this little tiny like fold over shelf of cardboard. So I have this fancy cardboard that I got in some fabric I bought from someone. They had it in there to keep it from bending, I guess, the fabric from getting creases in it when they shipped it. And I said, that's really nice cardboard. I'm going to keep that because I can use that for something. And this is what I'm using it for. So I'm just going to look at this, and it goes on the outside piece. So I'm going to have to go this way. Get my scissors that I can cut cardboard and paper with, because I'm not using my scissors that I can cut fabric with, because that's just, you don't do that. No one that sews or crafts will let you do that. It's a rule. And I'm just going to sort of trace around the shape of the insert. And it's going to be flat to itself here, and I'll just follow the crease of the cardboard. Bear in mind, I haven't actually made this before. I'm doing it right now because why not? It's fun. We're all quarantined, stuck at home, not talking to anyone. Not going out unless it's essential. I barely leave the house because things can get shipped to me and I don't have to leave the house. And the post office is awesome and they pick up my mail that I need to ship out every day. This needs to be slightly smaller. So I'm gonna go all the way around it, make it slightly smaller. See if that works. Still a little big, but better. Because you don't want it too big, because then you won't have enough room for the fabric I'm going to cover this with, which is going to be the same fabric as I covered the liner with, the cool candy stripe stuff, which I like. And since this is for me, that's what matters. Okay. So I have very scientifically cut the cardboard to fit into the eyeglass case. And it will keep it rigid so I can not smush my eyeglasses. So this now needs to be covered with fabric. Now I was thinking of sewing this in, but I also plugged in my hot glue gun. So we'll see what I do. Because I think what I'm going to do is a little of both. Since it's going to be on the inside of the case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it over a little bit and sew through the cardboard. Now, my machine can take that because it's an industrial machine. Most machines can take that, and I know that because I used to teach kids how to sew, and we used to make books with their singers and their brothers and all different types of sewing machines, and we were able to sew through cardboard onto fabric and sew pages into our books. So most machines should be able to take that. So I'm gonna line this up. Having said that, I haven't sewn cardboard through this machine, so it could not work. Right now I'm just sewing around the edges. Two flat edges first, the longest edges. Once these are in place, then I will fold the fabric and make the two little angles at either end. This end. Get this firm inner lining that will make sure that this stays nice and rigid. Bend it in. And then we're gonna sew here and here. And I will hot glue in the insert. Before I do that, I'm going to figure out where I want my Velcro on the exterior vinyl. So I can sew that in. Where's my piece of Velcro? I'm almost done. I'm almost done, oh my gosh. I think that's good. Very, very scientific of me. Tiffany Gibbs. That. That's pretty cool. I can't believe I'm actually making this. It's pretty rad. Now I'm going to put all my labels in it behind the Velcro because I have the labels and I just realized I can put one in because I might forget that I made it. And it won't mess anything up, it'll just be on the back side of this Velcro here. Nope, it won't. It'll be... It should have been right there. I'll put it on the inside of this. Upside down so you can read it. probably should have put it on when I put the Velcro on the back. But that's, if I do this again, I will know that now. Okay. I have a hot glue gun plugged in, but I really hate hot glue. So I'm going to see if I can't get this sewn in all the way around so I don't have to glue anything. Because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with hot glue. For certain things, applications, it's amazing and it works and it's awesome. However, I really think that people use it way too much for stuff that it's not really good for. So I try not to use it often. Okay, so now the front piece is very rigid, and fold it like this to here, and I can do the little exterior sewing just on this little edge, like that is, see, right there, both sides, and I should be done. One. And I've got this last piece right here that'll be all done. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome. Get in there, please, Finn. It is a little awkward doing this last bit because I've got the thicknesses of the vinyl and then I've got the actual cardboard in there. So I'm trying to get it in there and as flush as I can. Okay, so fingers crossed that this is all done and that I can now close it with my Velcro. Yes, I can. And I can put my glasses in it, my other pair of glasses, which, while this is a very nice case, it's not as nice as this one. Which is now not as nice as this one because I like this one better. Let's see about putting my other glasses in it. And it fits in. And it closes. It's got the sides. You open it up, take the glasses out. Has my label in it. It's upside down so you can read it like this. Oh look, that's me. And I actually like it. There's no like weird rough edges on it. It's a little flimsier than this because this is actual leather and this is the vinyl. I could have put like an interfacing in between the liner and the vinyl to make it a little bit more rigid in the back and on the cover over here. Mine's a little wider than this one. See, this has got, mine is just a little wider and chunkier, but I don't think that's bad for however long this took without having an actual pattern. I didn't have to use hot glue. I could put my glasses in it. Looks nice. They don't fall out. Not gonna get smushed. I like this. This was a very good 4th day of Halloween spooky craft. And I would like to thank you for watching and have a great day.